Okay, so welcome to Security of Things World 2017. It's my pleasure to be here with Henry Jiang from Oppenheimer.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you for being here, Henry. My first question would be, how are you tackling the topic of IoT security at Oppenheimer?
Yeah, so the IoT, in the financial industry, IoT definition isn't as broad as the other industry might agree upon. So in our environment, IoT devices are redefined as the non-standard devices that operates inside of the network. So as a part of my talk earlier this morning, we think that to manage IoT devices, certainly we need to use the governance and the security control and the people process, the common security framework to secure IoT. In other words, the IoT security should not be looked at very differently from other type of devices on your network. So that's our approach.
And so your presentation this morning focused on having a security framework in place, as you mentioned earlier. Can you tell us a little bit more about the key?
Yeah, so the map I displayed is, I call that framework, but certainly is not a standard framework that people adapt to that. What I call that framework is a graphical representation of this very complex subjects. I started doing sort of the mind map / framework with the cybersecurity back in February this year, and that post I think resonated with a lot of people. So with the IoT talk, I slightly altered the original map to add the IoT components inside of it. So they are relevant, but really is coming from existing practice that every CISO or security practitioner should already be familiar with.
All right. And so what do you mean by embracing the IoT? I think that's the title of your presentation.
Yeah.
And would you say IoT is rather an opportunity or a threat?
It could be both or could be neither. When I say embracing, because the IoT, whether we like it or not, will be here. People are going to connect the things to the network, whether they want to tell you or they don't tell you. So turning a blind eye to this problem doesn't solve the problem. So other than pretending the problem does not exist, or sometimes we could say you shouldn't do that as a way to control such IoT proliferation is not sufficient enough, right? So I think in order for organization to become ahead of the game, we need to embrace it by looking at existing controls policies and use the existing control and the framework to adapt this change, right? Become a enabler in a sense, not just say no, because saying no, it doesn't get us very far. That's the embrace is the key concept of doing that.
Yeah, I think it's a very nice terminology to use in this sense. So you've just had your morning key session, and what are your first impressions, and what are you hoping to gain from this conference?
One of the key interests for me to attending in Berlin is that I present quite a bit in the United States. I know my audience pretty well in the States. This is my first international conference. The reason I'm interested is to, I don't want it to impose the U.S. view on those issues. Also, I wanted to learn as international issue how other people, organizations facing this problem. I'm glad that I think there's a lot of similarity between the governance, the controls, and the technical side of things. Even just talking to the colleagues and the people around me from different countries, I think, we're facing this very similar problem. And our challenge is not unique. We are sharing the challenges. I think that's something I want to get away from this conference, not just I want to learn something from other people as well.
Awesome. So I hope you'll get many insights.
Yes, I'm taking my notes.
And it was a pleasure having you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right.